Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. We're slightly delaying the stream. Even more so than it usually is. Because I need coffee. I feel so tired right now. I don't know why I feel so tired right now, though. Ooh. So because I need coffee. Because I need coffee. Got some coffee brewing right now, so like... It's gonna be done in a few minutes. So let's just jam. Let's just jam out while we wait. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. But in the meantime, let's go here. So this is the GitHub game off stuff. Where is it? GitHub game off. Yeah, this is what I was working on. But my coffee's almost done. So let's give this a... I can hear it. Oh my god, that's so out of tune. It's so out of tune. But we got like 2 minutes before I need to get super distracted. Is this in D? What the heck? Elvis 8 Dynamite. Eh? Oh, this is drop D. Wait, no. What is this? Okay, hold on, I can't even hear it. Give me the... Can I go up? Well, I don't want A. I don't need A. Elvis 8. It's a bit out of tune. It's a bit sharp. Coffee, please. I need it. Please hurry. is. Alright. Copy's done. I'll be right back. Just yank this out of here. Actually, we won't yoink it just yet. And we'll yoink it. I'm no longer wearing the strap. Alright. Also forgot to turn on my AFK thing, but anyways, here we are. We're back. Here we are now. Entertain us. A mulatto. A mosquito. The rest of the lyrics to Nirvana's most popular song, I think. It smells like Teen Spirit. That's a fun one. That wasn't me drinking coffee very rapidly, by the way. I feel like I'm slowly going, where my sleep schedule is very slowly shifting towards, like, I don't even know, like, Asia time. No, not Asia time, but it's like, it feels like I'm 6 hours behind where I actually should be. Which is wild. Yeah. Here's where we're at in terms of this. So we have the battle system, we can talk, we can also do all this. Look at that. Everything is controlled via this stuff. How nice. Can also talk to NPCs, blah blah. Then you have all your options, and then we'll also change these so they look a bit nicer. And then clicking on options doesn't do anything, but you can run and get out. Cool, cool. So what I'm trying to do right now is write all the necessary tooling for a skill parser, since we have a few built-in skills already defined, right? So we have a, yeah, so there's just the basic one, strike, right? And then we'll have a more complicated one. So all the DSL skills, and then I guess these are the reference skills that I'll define for you, or you can just do a basic strike, which is impossible to mess up, but also just relies on raw stats. But it's kind of one of those, it's one of those things that you have so you can't get soft locked, just in case you like delete all your skills for whatever reason. You'll always have the basic backup. Also, what is this? Ooh, what is this? Array, CS battle screen 100. Huh? Mono object, unmarshallable managed type to variance. Name item encoding 18. Hey, is this? What? What? Item? Arrays, yeah. Cadeau array, blah blah. Battle screen, oh, it's battle screen 100. Oh, okay. Oh, it's because it's an enum. Oh, it's an enum. Actually, no, items aren't enums. Items are just actually things, right? Player bag contains things to an enum. Player bag.keys. So this is an item. Eh? Okay, and that's, you're unable to put that inside of this thing here. Okay. But this does require a Godot array, I think. Array binds. Let me see it. So this is fine. Huh? What? Like, no, this worked. This worked for this thing here, but not for this line of code here. So these are basically the same. I've even instanced them the same. Or is it because there's no... Is that it? It's because there was no one of these things? So I couldn't figure out what thing I was trying to push to it? That seems unlikely. Seems very unlikely. Yeah, okay. Huh. Attempted to convert unmarshallable managed type to variance. Name item encoding 18. Yeah, I guess it doesn't, that's not possible, but what are the overrides? Or are there overrides? No, there's no overrides. Huh. Between binds. Like that's tough. That's tough. How do you do this in C#? How do you do this in C#? Collections array. All right. So okay, what are the ways that I can create arrays in Godot? Or not Godot, in C#. So item CS. No, it's really just here, right? So Godot collections array. It's unmarshallable. Well, can't I just do this instead then? It would be var binds is equal to new Godot collections array, right? And then we'll just add the item to it just like that. In theory, that should be okay. Maybe, because I guess we're intentionally, or I guess explicitly adding it like that, as opposed to kind of just hoping that this item will kind of push into here somehow. Hopefully push into there somehow. It'll figure out which one of these constructors to use, which might not be the greatest idea. So, in theory, that should work. In theory, that should work. In theory, this game is also a good idea, so I don't know why I put so much faith in theory. Alright, so we still have one error. Where is it? 101. Eh? Wasn't I just there? Oh, please. Why would you open up another one? So 101. I suppose I could just create a new one of these things, right? Because it... Or is it because I called it item? Is it because I called this item? That would be distressing. Call this bag item. I think that would be very distressing if that was the case. Bag item. Then here, bum bum. On bag, yeah, I guess that. It's just. Why are you like this? Because I'm seeing here that it says the default member is item, so I'm wondering if it's kind of like a namespace thing, so it's conflicting with itself. Very possible, very possible. Let's give it another try. Okay, that's good that it's not unmarshallable managed type to variant. So why is unit skill, why is this able to be, oh, it's because it's just an enum, right? So that makes it really easy. Well, can't I can use, an array of variant type elements allocated in the engine in C++, useful for interfacing with the engine, otherwise prefer .NET collections such as system array or system collections generic list. I guess we can make this a reference. We can make this inherit from reference. If only because I need it to... I need to attach it to a Godot callback, right? So why not? Right? And then in battle screen... yeah, battle screen. This should be fine. Yeah, we don't need to use this binds trickery anymore. Right, there's your item. Ooh. Yeah. And then, in theory, that should be okay. In theory, that should be okay. So, we'll only see once we go to this screen. Alright, cool. So that was pretty much it, right? It's because it wasn't able to marshal just like this raw class here, bag item, to a Godot variant. Yeah, there's not really a huge reason not to do this then. And also to, I suppose parsed skill will also need to become a Godot variant, or at least a Godot reference. Maybe player data as well? Maybe not. I'll see if I can get away with not making these references. And making these, I guess, more managed by the C# runtime as opposed to being managed by the Godot runtime. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really consider that this would be a problem, but here we are. So git add all. What are we doing? Git commit fix marshalling pair with C# classes to Godot variants. Cool. So let's continue on with the parser, right? We can bring up this as well. So this is what I was working off of, not this part. But this, right? So this is what we are defining as a skill. And let's see. What was the one skill that we were working with initially? It was smokescreen. Yeah, so smokescreen. I guess it doesn't really matter, huh? We'll think about it for now, and then I'll actually slap in the DSL somewhere. So what do we want? What are we doing here? What was I even doing? Because I wasn't working on this yesterday, I lost track of where I was supposed to be. All right, so is expression. So this is our flag for keeping track of whether or not we're looking for to fill out an expression or not. Or I wonder, I wonder if this flag is even necessary. Like, do I need to keep track of whether or not I'm looking for a second value or not? Yeah, I don't think I do. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, right? So if we're parsing, and we're parsing basically word by word, so I'm assuming that the tokenizer has already worked. Yeah, but assuming that tokenizer has already worked, then what we'll be doing is just running through every single word. So label, hello, charge, to, wind up, one, right? Pretty easy. And then once we hit any of these known words, then we can just go to the next index immediately and try to read that in. Right? Yeah, and then I should encourage the program to keep trying. Yeah, I should encourage the program to keep trying. Well, does that make sense though? So if you mess up the program, right? And so you type something like, so you can kind of see there's like a reserved word and then the value, reserved word, value, reserved word, value. If statements are a bit different, but you know, that's how it is, you know. But if you mess up the program and hit it with like a, you know, you go like a charge 2, something like that, what should happen? Will you just have garbage in your program? Is that it? Yeah, I guess you will just have garbage in your program. Yeah, I think I do want to keep track of the current expression that we're building. Yeah. So new expressions. And then, yeah, then I need a way to store it outside of the loop. Yeah. Expression. I suppose I need a way to duplicate the expression as well. Or I wondered then, like, how do I make a deep copy of a class as opposed to just getting a reference to it? Copy class without reference. Oh, okay. You would just need to create a new instance. Oh yeah, I always forget. Yeah, that this is C#. This isn't Godot. You can just create a new class. Thank you. JWR Harding though. Yeah, I was thinking in terms of GDScript, because GDScript it is a bit more difficult to create new things without hitting like an explicit duplicate function. But yeah, no. Okay, so yeah, I don't need to do anything fancy with this. I just need to keep a list of the atoms inside of the current expression. Oh, and you know what? I'm realizing now that an atom can contain more expressions, technically. Hooray. So I know the title does say it's making an RPG hacking game. This is the hacking part. And in order to make the hacking part work, I need to create a very simple assembly language. Or it's roughly equivalent to an assembly language, right? It's not Turing complete. However, looking at this, right? You can think of these values as registers. Or pretty much all of these things are registers. And then there's like a string field, but not something assembly usually has. But based off of all of these registers and the values that they eventually come out to be, we'll do a thing. And so going back to what I'm working off of, I think the intention is that, let me see, parser. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to group together certain reserved words that kind of influence certain registers, and then in the evaluator, we'll do a thing. Hello, Knock. Good duck to you as well. Unfortunately, you're one of the characters that is not animated. Yeah. So I'm just trying to group together things. Expressions. Can expressions contain other expressions? In a normal language, yes. In my language, probably not. How can I switch for a dog? I hate dogs. You hate dogs? Alright, given the option between being a dog or kicking a dog, which one would you choose? Riddle me this. There's always the option to randomize your minion. Look at that. Don't let me say it. Yes, I know. You would rather choose to be a dog. Everyone's worst nightmare. Actually, that is kind of a hard question. Didn't I just ask you between being a dog or kicking a dog, which would you be? I think taking that more literally, I think I might take option 2. I don't want to be a dog. I like being a human, and if being a human means I have to kick a dog, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I kick gently the dog. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So we'll just do... EXP is just a new expression, right? Yeah, it's just a new expression. We'll make this really simple. So it's possible for you to have points. Look at that. He's chonky. Look at that. Knock knows the syntax to mess with the characters. I suppose if we're talking about this kind of stuff, let's see. We can also make you very tiny and then also negative. Negative sized. Hooray. So expression, new expression. So I think these are the 4 main registers, and it shouldn't be too hard to add more registers. So instability, I guess like there's 3 main registers: charge amount, activation time. What other registers would we want to have? How many registers does a Game Boy have? Or are they called registers even? So GBA assembly registers. 8? Are there 8? While though. 16-bit data segment register. No, this is just regular assembly. I don't know, random guess. Yeah, I have no idea. But Game Boy assembly is the only one I like even bothered to kind of read. So registers. Oh, there's 16. With the last 3 typically having a special meaning. All right, that's a few too many registers. Oh, but man, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool if I just created like a... If I changed these things from being like explicitly named like values, and then just recreated like a very simple Game Boy ASM assembly language, ASM language. Are you going full ASM? Probably not. No. I think I'm just gonna go. We'll go 8. We'll go 8. Why not? And then they all won't be, I guess, manually tickable as well. Maybe they will. I don't know actually. What if I do that though? I'm a little interested, I'm not gonna lie. The idea just popped into my head. Like, what if I just make this like assembly though? Instead of just being like, or I guess closely approximating assembly, what if we just make it like assembly? So everything is an integer, and then this would be like register 0. Right? And then we'll just go down the line. That's roughly 8. Right. Oh, that's 7. Very good at counting. Nah, that's 8. And then... And then, how does this map to this? How does this map to this? Maybe that's not a good idea, because then it's not... I think that the idea that it was closer to like a magic chant, almost. Like a magic spell. But if you're just manually poking at registers, then that's just programming. Actually, have you considered this? Aren't wizards, aren't magicians just programmers? isn't it? I suppose if they're able to tweak their spells, they would be closer to programming. If each spell is just like, this is the spell, you cannot change it no matter what, then I think that's more of a, I don't even know what that would be. A singer? a soliloquist, perhaps? Yeah. Alright, so that was a bad idea, but I think we can do something like this. We can change these all to ints, just to make it easier to work with. So ints. Everything will start at 0. So we have your charge amount, your activation time, your targets. We can have your power. What other things would you want out of a skill? Randomness probably is out. So given a screen that looks like this, and I think I'm still gonna go with this idea. Oh, why isn't it running? Failed to build. All right, that's good. What happened? Parser cannot implicitly. Oh, right. Yeah, I did have another idea today. I was like, what if I also just make this like a card game? No, stop this. The scope is getting too large. I think we've already stripped out most of the story stuff, right? So the story stuff, which was going to be more of a draw this time around. We'll focus more on the story stuff, and then we'll just have a boring JRPG battle system to kind of push you along. But decided to kind of pivot. So the story stuff will just be, it's the background. Hooray. That kind of explains how you got into this position of being able to modify skills, but it will not, I guess, be front and center. What will actually be front and center is modifying your skills. So these are your attacks. There's your basic attack strike. Then you'll have smokescreen, which is going to be defined by the DSL. So from this screen, what things will we want to do? So we need to choose a target. So given 2 targets, 1 and 2, we need to choose between one of them. Instability is kind of separate from the others. So instability is based off of, I guess, how many soft errors we run into. I think that could be kind of cool. Oh, hello, Gold Apple Gang. How are you doing tonight? I'm working on a game for the GitHub Game Off 2021. The theme is bug. I've pivoted slightly, and I've also been wasting a lot of time working on it. So, considering that it's due in less than 2 weeks, and I had a month to work on it, it's going very poorly. But I am just trying to force myself to work on stuff, even though I've already kind of burned out. Or was still burnt out from the Ludum Dare that took place like a month ago. Yeah, my idea is JRPG plus hacking. You can see in the title. So all your JRPG skills, except for strike, they'll look like this, basically. They'll be defined in a kind of a rough assembly language, almost. Sounds pretty cool. I'm trying to finish one too. What do you have so far? I mean, this is what I have so far, right? So originally the focus is going to be more on like story stuff, or I guess a more of a meta aspect. So like, what if, the big evil boss like just deleted your character from the game, so you're not really persistent in memory, and then that would be more of a meta story focused game, but. And then it would have JRPG trapping, so the enemies couldn't target you because you just don't exist, but they could target the rest of your party. Yeah. But then I decided to pivot. Thought that sounded pretty boring. So now it's going to be less, basically almost no story. Then everything is just going to be fluff, and we'll focus more on the combat aspect. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I do need to, I'm trying to build out my parser now, the skill parser. So this is what the skill will look like. I'm trying to figure out what other things I would need to have in this skill. But yeah, this is pretty much what I have so far. So we have dialogue working, we have moving around on the overworld working. Battles technically work. They're not really hooked up, but I mean, all the data is there. Yeah. I assume that you're working on a submission for it as well. Say boo, that sounds too reasonable. Hope you explore the story stuff later. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have very much confidence in my, I guess, my story writing ability. Not right now. The story writing ability doesn't really play to my strengths, unfortunately. Or at least what I know myself to be okay at, which is weird gameplay mechanics. Which I know that I'm better at. I'm working on the game jam called Finish Your Dang RPG. Ah, okay. Are you finishing your dang RPG? Also, what? I need some more ideas. So the original mock-up for the very basic combat system was based off of one of Square Enix's new games, Dungeon Encounters, except, and so Dungeon Encounters kind of looks like this, basically. So you have your unit portrait stats, unit portrait stats, unit portrait stats, and then it will have kind of a time bar, so it's possible for you to go take your turn at the same time as your enemy. What is your RPG about? What is your RPG about? Don't worry, I won't steal any ideas. It's already too late for me to pivot to something else. And anyways, I feel like ideas, like game dev ideas, it's one in a dozen. Not one in a million, actually. What is it called? It's one of a million? I don't know. Anyways, ideas are like buttholes. Everyone has one. I was trying to hard carry some of this story. There's no gameplay, only some puzzles. Hard carry off of the story, yeah. Oh no, 42k points. You might make me pivot. Do it, you won't. Yeah, I feel like writing a good story is really hard, right? Because you know, if you're not trying to do the standard, you know, hero's journey, so we're weak, go through some trials, blah blah, you know, it's predictable. So I think predictable is good if you are, you know, have enough resources to make it really good. It's like in the same way of like, if you want to make, oh, and thank you very much for the follow, good Apple Gang. But it's like the same thing of like let's make Call of Duty but better. It's like, yeah, you can try to make Call of Duty but better, but just know that it's gonna be tough to do that. Ask yourself, what do you like in a story, and do that. I don't know. I like being subverted in a good way, but I also like the ability to like see the subversion coming if I know it's possible. Those are my favorite kind of stories. It's like, oh, like I could, you were trying to trick me, and then you did, but like, oh, these are all the things that were just kind of present before. Ooh, you know. But I think that's kind of hard to do without completely giving it away. So it requires very careful writing, which I'm not. I'm not a very careful person, unfortunately. What else would I want? So power, time. So that's charge amount, activation time. Charge amount probably will feed into power. Power relies on charge amount. Target is this stuff. Oh, cost. Yeah, cost. Delay. Delay. Or it's not really delay. I guess it would be cost. Time cost, right? What else would you want? Cost? Like, if I don't want to have a mana system, and we're just kind of doing everything based off of timers. So there's the activation time, which is already handled here. I guess we can call it delay, and it can possibly delay the opponent. Do you have a name for this? The name is, the acronym is OOM. So if you play MOBAs, or I guess not MOBAs, it would be, if you play like MMORPGs, it'd be out of mana. Get it? Or if you're a programmer, you would call it out of memory. And so get it? Because it's a you were deleted from the thing, so you're out of memory, but also you're programming, so you're actually out of memory. It's wordplay. I think it's pretty good, by the way. I think it's pretty good. That's not a bad name. It could be a lot worse. So this is 5 so far. I need 3 more things. Public int. I guess it could be like effects. No, I don't want effects to be just based off an integer. Or I could make this based off an integer. Public. Play on words, pretty cool. Oh, thank you. I know I totally pressured you into saying that, but it pleases me nevertheless. All right, so here's an idea, right? So the effect is based off an integer, and then we'll just have like a list of integers, aka enums. So we'll modulo this number, whatever it turns out to be, by the number of possible effects, and then we'll just choose whatever effect comes up. I think, yeah, that's not a bad system. So you can have a really high number, and you can just keep adding effects to your thing. We'll figure it out. I'm interested, so I meant it. Oh, thank you. Please blink twice if someone is coercing you into saying that. Public int effects. It's delayed because of mobile. It's okay. I understand. Do lots of people watch streams from mobile? Isn't that really slow? Doesn't that eat up all your data, by the way? I know my little brother likes to watch Twitch streams on mobile, but like, that's also why he uses like 20 gigs of data per month. I'm like, man, I use like 2 gigs of data max. Effects, damage. I guess duration. We can have a duration. And I suppose I should also define some constants, or probably like read-only variables as well. Oh, and also need to make sure that I properly document this. How long this will last for. Calculated via modulo. I'm at home. Oh, you're watching from mobile at home. Well, I suppose that's true. I also need to remember that other people don't always own more than one computer. I own a lot of computers. Actually, I own a lot of laptops. I only have one big computer. Not to flex or anything. Been making progress on the port, by the way. Ooh, got Chonky Boss Dude working. Now I have the particle effects. Yeah, that's something that was really nice about working with Godot. And also, what Nock is talking about, by the way, Gold Apple Gang, is the most recent game, Giant Horse Deathball, that I made for a Ludum Dare. It got 31st in humor for whatever reason. I feel like there's a decent amount of developers who play these games on mobile, so they try to play my game on mobile and then rated it poorly. So yeah, if you're looking for games to play, you need to play this on PC. I suppose. Oh, you know what? You know what? Now that I'm saying it out loud and I'm thinking back to the game description, it does not explicitly say that you need to use a mouse and keyboard. So that probably attributed to the lower score in the other categories. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like, man, like, isn't it weird how everyone seems to do everything on their phone nowadays? I was like, wait a minute. No. Are people playing my game just on their phone? To apply. Back to apply. A range of values is assigned to each effect. Effect is selected after modulo. Briefly looked at it, it looks clean. Well, thank you. Those streams are all documented on YouTube. And I think the VODs are still up as well. Yeah. I think within a 48-hour period, I streamed for 32 hours just working on that, so. I'm not quite that young anymore, so that was pretty rough on me. It was fun though. It was fun, especially once it started getting like super late into the night. I started losing my my composure and all sense of sanity. By the way, your title says A twice. That's definitely intentional. Not a mistake. I don't make mistakes. Also, did not just change my title. Oh no! Now it's make a. Oh no! Now that I'm actually reading it, making a. Hold on. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna get more coffee. I'll be right back. Hello. I'm back. It should be N. It should be making a... Oh, you know what? You are right. An R. That's right. I forgot. English. Why are you like this? Because you pick A or N based off of how the next word is pronounced, not based off the letter. And so if it's pronounced using a vowel, you use N. So RPG is an A sound. R. Ugh. That gets a lot of people though, right? So it's like you wear a uniform. It's not you don't wear an uniform. Even though uniform is spelled with a U, but it makes a Y sound. Hooray! English. All right, so this is really gonna mess with my VODs, but that's okay. I need 2 more ideas, by the way. So no, I need 1, 2, 3. No, I need 1 more. So duration, then public int. What's another thing here? How long this skill will last for? This skill will last for. And you might be saying to yourself, isn't the streamer spending too much time on displaying or working on, I guess, like the skill structure as opposed to writing the parser? And I'll tell you, you are completely correct. But it's okay, I've already written a parser before. I've written an entire programming language before. Multi-effect skills. You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We'll call it sub-effect. Sub-effect. But it's closer to effect too, but I don't want to put a number on it. This is one of the more satisfying things for me to do, is just add documentation. I don't know why. Like, it's really easy to do. Like, call it AB, like register A and B. That's also pretty good. That's also a good idea. Effect B. Okay. Good. Like at work, when I'm given a task, I like being given an explicit documentation task because I'm very good at it. But usually, as a developer, documentation is just like implied. The second effect to apply. I'm gonna head out. Good luck on the project. I might come back sometime, so see you then. Uwu. Winky face. Thanks very much for hopping in. I stream pretty regularly or Sundays, Tuesday, Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. And on Wednesdays from 9 to 11, but sometimes 7 to 10, who knows. So, feel free to pop by whenever. Usually working on something. Implied? Did you just say it doesn't exist? No. You can't say that to the project manager. Otherwise they'll get really angry. Or what am I doing? We'll just say this will work. This works like effect A. Or calculated like effect A. Nice. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. All right, so charge amounts, just so I don't forget, right? So charge amounts, this is the let's see. Ooh, the amounts the skill is charged. Skill. Yeah, it's like this. The skill is charged, needs to be greater than a calculated min-max value. Yeah, so you can overcharge and you can undercharge. So based off of a few factors. So based off of what, I guess, like duration, what effects you have, the power, that will affect the kind of min-max value that your charge amount needs to fit between. If you don't, then we'll just add instability to your thing. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense, right? Yeah, thanks for agreeing. But man, I was talking with the new project manager at work, and they were just, it's bad, man. It's bad. They have a very, very old school way of doing project management. So Whereas the place I'm at now, right, they just do Kanban. They're like, yeah, we need to have sprints. We need to have daily stand-ups. You know, 1 hour daily stand-up. It's like, what? That's not what a daily stand-up is. Right. And we need to have meetings, sprint retrospectives. We need to have sprint planning sessions. I'm like, man, calendar is really filling up. The power of the skill. Yeah, power is just power. Power is just power. Target is just target. Intended target of the attack. Values higher than 4. The current maximum are supported up to, so you have 4, and then here's the idea, right? So you can see here that there's space for 4 boxes, and then if you want to hit multiple enemies, I think that's where I'm oh no, I'm very bad at combinatorics. How do you say it? Combinatorics. Yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Up to 10 for multi-target attacks. Hooray. Right? That's correct, I think. This is my worst subject in statistics, is combinatorics. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, those are your 4. And then you can group them up like, oh, it's too dark. You can group them up like this, this, this. So that's 7. And then 8, 9. Oh, you know what? The reason why this didn't feel correct is because this isn't actually. This also takes into account positioning as well. So this isn't technically like pick any 3. This is pick 3 in this formation. Yeah, but that's 10 right there. Okay. Right, or even like with the pick 2 that I was doing, I was only doing the 2 that are right next to each other. I wasn't able to pick 1 and 3 and also 1 and 4. And I think I'm not going to allow for that to happen. Yeah. What's the equation for an unordered set, by the way? It's like AB over total amount. Is it A times B over A plus B? Is that correct? Anyways, I think that math checks out. So for 10 multi-target attacks. So positioning does matter. And so that actually has some implications, right? If positioning does matter, then for the effects, it's almost like a Darkest Dungeon kind of way, right? Where like manipulating your own position or manipulating enemy position is kind of important. Maybe less so in this instance, but we'll figure it out. All right, delay. So delay differs from activation time. So delay pushes back your next turn or the enemy's next turn. Pushes back the target's turn timer. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We'll there's an implied cap, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. Pushes back. Activation time. What if I do how long the skill takes to cast? So this should be fairly short in most instances, I think. Right? Activation time should be fairly short in most instances. However, how does activation time work with a delay? I'm thinking about that. So given an activation time, or how does that work with this kind of idea? So you take your turn, or your turn comes around. Or no, it's whenever you I'm thinking whenever you cast your skill, or I guess everyone at the very, very start, you just pick attacks for everyone to do, right? And then you get to pick another one once you actually cast it. Yeah. And then delay means that you are able to push, basically adds to the activation time, right? Basically adds to the target's activation time. Yeah, that's cool. All right, neat. So kill the program. And let's go to the parser again. So all of these, so these are all the reserved words. These are all the reserved words. I might have to come up with a better idea than this, because there's no way to add custom words as well. But that's probably fine. Or it also means that I'm not able to adjust the meaning of words at runtime as well, which I thought would be kind of fun to do. And you know what? Charge amount, activation time. Yeah, let's keep it like this for now. And we'll keep the mapping like this. So region, power. So there's a few words that deal with power. I'll just call it upgrade or something. Man, I really don't like this though. But I need to keep track of reserved words somehow. Yeah. As long as we're always creating a new expression whenever we hit one of these, and I think we'll need to, whenever we create a new expression, we'll also need to, a new list of atoms. Maybe this should just be atom 1 and atom 2. So this would be public atom. Basically, it's key value, right? More or less. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Because expressions can have one-to-many atoms according to this syntax. Or expressions, yeah, they can have one-to-many. So this is an expression of one, standalone, just called execute. But then you have something like this, which is an if statement, which has, I guess is the only instance of a, wait. Yeah, that is just the only instance of a control flow. And then that's also the only instance where I might need to nest an expression inside of another expression. All right, let's look at my reference. How did I do this for the Lisp language I wrote. GD Lisp. So GD Lisp. ASM tutorial. We don't need to look at the ASM anymore. But for the tokenizer, that's easy. For the parser, how did I define an expression? So an expression is, an expression can be either an atom or a list. Or in this case, it should just be, huh? Can I have a union? Can I define a union in C#? C# union. Enumerable C# equivalent to C union. C++ union in C#. Docs.microsoft. What do you got? Oh, so this isn't link. You don't want to use link too often. Because link is pretty heavy, isn't it? And the fact that I would want to see if I can make this work as a web build means I don't want to use too many link things. What is this? Union. Wow, no. You can use explicit field layouts. C++ union in C#. Looks something like this. Ooh, you can use explicit field layouts. Oh, that is that is crazy. Okay. Okay. So given a struct, a C# struct, you can make it have an explicit field layout, right? So floats for, and at a float, and then at field position 4, then you'll either have an int or a floats. Oh no. BRB. To hit the AFK thing. That's alright. Just implement them as separate fields. Okay. That could work as well. What is this? Yeah. So if I wanted to do that, then I would need to use a struct, but I'm trying to avoid using. All right, well, that's okay. We'll have just an enum inside of here, I guess. Public enum expression type. So this is what I used for GD Lisp, right? So we just defined an enum inside of the class. And so then you'll have your none type, of course. You should never have a none type expression. You'll have, I guess, an atom or a list. And then that'll tell us which thing that we're... Yeah. 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 That'll tell us what kind of expression it is. If it's an atom expression or an expression that contains many expressions. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that's how this worked, right? Is because I used duck typing in GD Lisp in order to implement that, but you can't do that here. What I can do is one of these. So we'll have the the empty constructor. Generally want to avoid that, but then we can have, we'll also have this. So, hold on, let's do one thing at a time. So this will be, just atom. So let's take an atom, and we'll have to think about what we're doing there. I think here we can just throw. Let's throw an error. What errors do I have? Throw, new. What kind of exception is this? All right, hooray. Don't use the empty constructor. Otherwise, I'm not sure how to handle that. Or we can do new expression, and then this will be a list of more expressions. Yes. No. Yes. What would this be? So, each expression is either a each expression is either an atom expression or a list of expressions, which may also be atom expressions. Oh man. The simple fact that I have an if statement makes this really difficult. I just need to think about how would I represent this inside of in this format without making it super complicated. I don't know. Expressions. Do you really want this to be like ASM, like, or not? Is the question really? Kind of. Like a mix. I know that ASM does not have. Well, I know that if you're doing this like assembly, then you would just have a word, like a comparison operator, right? That would compare something that's in one register to another. It's spot like ASM where you want it if else and you have a tree. Yeah, it's tough, but then how would you do comparison? If you don't have an active register, and then the intent is not for the player to have to juggle that kind of stuff. Right. The idea is that these words all kind of just refer to the same value, the same register, and then you can have. That's tough. In ASM, you have multiple compare ops which jump or don't jump based off the compare result. Yeah. There's no if else. Yeah. But I kind of don't want to do that. Because then how would you make that, how would you define that in this example here, right? Greater than, less than. I guess if we're getting rid of this kind of weird if statements, right? Then what would the replacement be? It would do, I don't remember any of the operations in assembly, but all right, let's look up the assembly. GBA assembly ops. All is one line with no fee. That's tough, man. That's tough. Just give me the operations. Control flow. Comparisons. Compare two registers and then move to a different piece of code. Oh yeah, that is pretty much what I'm doing, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. TBH, you can do multiple lines, but treat it as if it's a special thing. Only goto can be in the body. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But what I'm looking at is this thing here, yeah. I totally forgot that this is how that works. I don't know what this means, but what this says is jump to label someplace because of branches if equal instruction. Okay, cool. Branch with link, I don't know what that means, but seems okay. I'm not gonna read the rest of it, but I'm just gonna base my entire syntax off of this one example. That's how it works. CMP sets a flag, and then the branch ops are reading that flag. All right, I think we're just gonna go full assembly then. I think we're just gonna go full assembly. Probably not the best idea, but. So what should the syntax be? I guess it'll just be CMP. Get. Probably not, but it'll be fun. Yeah. I guess we can just get. So we do charge. Because I'm not storing numbers in registers either, which is the hard part. Oh, dang, I'll have fun ASMing. Oh, thank you. Have fun being a normal adult with a job. Thanks for dropping by. Always appreciated. Actually, yeah, can't I just do this then? Yeah, I can still keep the operation. Yeah, I think you are right. Yeah. Yeah, we just do like that, then that's way easier. What was I doing before? I think I was trying to do multiple if-else branches, but that seems tough. Yeah, this is way easier. It's a very simplified, or not simplified, but it's a very more complicated if-else expression. Standard built-in atoms. Well, aren't I just trying to... Yeah, wait a minute. This doesn't really matter, right? I just need to look for all of these possible cases and then... Yeah, all these things should do the same thing, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, up until execution at the very end. Yeah, okay, I was mixing up my evaluator and parser logic. Okay. So these all should do roughly the same thing, which is to say, like, just get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. There's no then. So that makes sense, right? So these are all just standard expression creation thingies. These are also just standard expression creation thingies. All of these are the same. And then the last bit is just this part here, expression. Let's see, needs to. We create an expression of more expressions. You know what? No. We'll create an expression of a list of atoms. Yeah, no, okay. So this brings us back to what this was, right? So don't throw an exception. And it's an expression that contains just more atoms. Actually, hold on. Yeah. We create a new expression with the current token 2 lower as the first word. Yeah, okay. Okay. So bring this back. Still do not allow an empty expression, but we can have an expression that takes an atom as the first argument. And then atoms dot add lower atom. Hooray. Yeah, that makes sense. Get rid of this. So this looks a bit strange, but it definitely makes sense. Trust me. Yeah, but the formatter does get a bit confused here. That's okay. So new expression. So let's get the tokens, and then we'll just 2 lower. We'll match on token. Then here we'll create a new expression. Token, execution. That should be fine. All right. Need to change how atom works. So this is a struct public atom string. So what are we doing with the name? Yeah, it's really just public string name, isn't it? It's just a field. And then big name is equal to small name. Yeah, okay. So new atom token. And of course, let's do this. Public atom empty constructor throw new system throw new system exception. Hooray. So just bail out of the program as fast as possible. Feature parameterless struct constructors. Oh, okay, so you just can't do this anyways. Nice. Why was it giving me this thing then? I don't know. Okay. This one is pretty easy though, this part, right? So this, for execution, or pretty much any other standalone thing, we'll create a new expression, then new atom, constructed from the token, and then we will, I guess we'll just add it to the expression list there, wholesale. Yeah, so we can have like a mark as complete. Yeah, we'll have a few flags on the expressions just so that we know how to parse it later. So when we're parsing expressions into, or I guess when we're evaluating all the expressions that we constructed into the parsed skill here, I think what we can do is, if the expression is just not complete, right? So public bool is complete. Oh, and this is also wrong. Atoms. So get set, everything is get set. And then is complete is false. Yeah, so whenever we come across an expression in the evaluator that is not complete, then we'll just add some values to your instability meter. So this is like a meta value. Determines the chance of the skill failing. It's calculated from a few sources. Yeah, All right, so Adam, that's all it is. It just represents a string name. I suppose we could have simplified this, right? By we could have simplified this by just making expressions contain a list of strings. That's all right. That's all right. I think we are gonna go with this though. Charge up if charge is greater than whatever. So the if statements are only if statements. There is no if else statements. So it's like it's a higher level assembly language. Yeah. But this makes sense. And then if not is expression. I don't think I need to have is expression. But maybe we do. Yeah, so that, okay. So if exp is not null, then we'll just push the current expression onto the expression list. Yeah, so expressions add exp. That's pretty much all of these, right? And then this one is the same, and then we'll also just push this one onto the list. I think. Hold on. So for standalone words, executes, and that's really the only one I have so far as like a standalone command. So what happens if you just have garbage at the end of it? I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. If you have garbage, then you just have garbage, I suppose. Yeah. And then this one is expression. No. Defaults. So defaults is basically like all the values after the reserved words. So, oh, that's tough though. That's tough. I think I need to have a flag checking for is if statement, I suppose. So I'll keep track of this here. Bool is comparison. Loop count. Yeah. Might as well just have these as local variables, right? So do all this. Loop counts will let's see. Where's the for loop start? At the very end of it we should do loop counts. Did I not change the name? I did not. Loop count. Loop counts plus equals 1. Is comparison. So if it's an if statement, if statements need to be handled slightly differently, so I'll push this up here. So if it's an if statement, then we'll break earlier. Then we'll do is comparison is true. Let's see. If expression is not null, then we'll create a new thing, and then we'll also create a new thing there. Yeah. That's a bit tough. Because I need to... Because I also want the syntax to be pretty simple. So... and or forgiving. So you can have multiple commands, multiple instructions on the same line. as kind of like an obfuscation, however you pronounce it, kind of thing. Obfuscated, yeah. So if you have an if statement, then if it's a comparison, then we'll just add it to the thing. Yeah, I guess in the evaluator we'll just kind of send it. Yeah. We'll just kind of send it. So your if statements, as long as they are formatted somewhat correctly, that's okay. Or maybe I do need to cut you off on like new lines, right? So then I need to go back to the tokenizer. Yeah, I think allowing for a super flexible syntax is making this really difficult. All right, so tokenizer. I think, yeah, I still need to account for new lines. What is white space a new line character? Else, if car is new line. How do I check for new line? Hey. So if it's a real word, then that's fine. If it's white space, then that's also okay. That's hard. That's hard. I'm thinking. Given something like this, how should I actually tokenize it then? Because I'm also trying to make it so it's fairly lenient in what you can compare to, or what you can kind of pass into each expression. What if we just ignore new lines by default, but if we're doing an if statement, then I need to check for new line characters? No, there's a better way we can do this, right? So what I'm worried about is if we, right? So how this would parse, or how this would evaluate, or no, how this would parse is that we get the if token, right? We create an expression with if as the first atom inside of the expression. Second atom is charge, but then that would actually hit this point here, right? It would hit this point, so it would just cap off the expression immediately, which means that we need to have an if statement here to kind of branch off. So if we are constructing an if statement, we need to go down in like an entirely different thing, an entirely different flow, which is a bit tough. So how do I figure that out? And then if you also want the program to not immediately fail as well, then you'll need to... Right. Because I want it to be possible for, you know, if you have an incomplete statement, it'll just kind of ignore that statement and then try to pick up where it left off as best as it can. And then if it can't, of course, then it'll just execute the skill as is. So of course it executes from top to bottom. So let me see. Executes from top to bottom. We are kind of pre-compiling the skill as well. And also, let's do a private int loop max. Loop max is, we'll probably call it like 100. Actually, no, you can have way more than that. Let's call it 1000, right? So if loop counts is greater than loop max, then we'll just kind of return all the expressions immediately. Yeah. And then we'll also pass in a string format, error message, loop max. Or it's basically like skill data overflow, basically. Yeah. Is comparison true? Then how does this map back to this? Because I want it to be possible for you to have an if statement defined like that as well. Maybe it just needs to look for a goto, which means that we need to handle goto, label an if slightly differently from everything else. Everything else can just use the same expression data, right? That's tough. Go to and go to hello. And then it is also possible for you to just pass in garbage, which I think is fine. And I guess you can just have like a really long, like if you just have a bunch of garbage defined as, you know, if, and then you just, you know, charge, and then you just don't finish it for whatever reason. Something like that. 2, 3, 1. Something like that. Right, because if statements should be fairly open-ended, or they'll be open-ended enough. Or maybe if statements should just work off of a counter, so they'll kind of eat whatever they're expecting. So if you hit an if statement, then we start a counter. Yeah. And then there will always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So once we loop through 5 more times, then we'll consider the if statement closed. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's the easiest way to do it. So in this instance, so if you just pass in garbage, then you'll be left with an expression that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then parsing will kind of fail afterwards, I guess. Yeah, then you'll just be left with a weird garbage expression. Then you'll just be left with a weird garbage expression. That's okay with me, I think. So if is comparison, bool, or not bool, it'll be int comparison counter 0, and then we'll have this is a private constant integer. These are all related to looping. Private const int comparison max. So 6 values total, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I think if I want to have something that is flexible, then this is the only way to do it. Comparison counter plus equals 1. So what happens if you have if? So you have if. Well, actually, yeah, you know what? We can just do, before the switch statements, we can check to see if is comparison. Yeah, and then we'll wrap the rest of this in an else. Yeah, this is kind of how my tokenizer worked as well, which is a bit weird. It's like I've moved the complexity from the tokenizer to the parser instead, so hooray. So if is comparison, then the current expression will do, where is it? That's not how you do it. Atoms add token. Hey, or it's new atom token. And then these atoms need to be defined as, okay, hold on. I made a huge mistake. Public enum atom type. So you'll have a none type, of course. I always like to have the none enum type. But then you can have basically a symbol or a value, right? So this is either a symbol or a value. And so now we can do this in the constructor, which is we pass in the name of the symbol and then I guess the atom type. Yeah. Public atom type. Oh, and then type is a reserved word, I forgot. Atom type. Atom type. Field atom type must be completely assigned. That makes sense. Atom type is equal to atom type. Something like that. Right. Now this is kind of broken, but we go to atom type symbol. This one is atom type symbol. Most of these are atom type symbols, right? Actually, this is a If is comparison, then we need to check to see. Actually, no, yeah, no, these are all values, yeah. So for the if statements, the next 6 values, or the next 6 things we'll just treat as values, and then we'll evaluate them in the evaluator. That's the easier way to do it. Yeah. Since this is just about bundling things together, not about actually evaluating what they mean. Yeah, so in the default, we'll just hit it with exp.add here, exp atoms, add new atom. So it takes in a token and then atom type no, not symbol, value. Right. I think that makes sense. Oh, and then the hard part is writing the tests for this as well. Oh, oh no, writing tests. That is part of my job now. That is my primary job now, I guess. Writing, doing a lot of tests. So comparison counter plus equals 1 plus equals 1. So if it is comparison, and then we'll need to do a second check. So if comparison counter is greater than or equal to comparison max, usually just equal to should be fine, but we don't want to take any chances. So comparison counter is greater than or equal to comparison max, then we will just kind of try to abort, jump out. So is comparison is false. And then I guess at this point we also need to wrap it in an if-else statement as well. One of these. So is comparison false, comparison counter, comparison hey, hey, comparison counter is equal to 0, so we reset, and then we will expressions add. So we don't need to do a null check there because we know it exists. We should probably still do the null check, but that's probably fine. Well, actually, no. We don't even need to add it to the expressions. We can just depend on the last thing to, you know, add it, right? Maybe not. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I think that makes sense. So we can depend on like a last word being there to add it. And I guess if you don't have the last word, then it just doesn't add. So that's okay. That's okay. Ooh, what? Oh, save this one, not this one. I don't want to save this file. I'm just keeping it here in the editor so I don't need to flip back and forth between Notepad and this. So your atoms have an atom type. Bum bum. This just works. This doesn't need a return. This doesn't need a return. Boom. So if we are a comparison, so if statement, blah, blah. So we're parsing. Label, hello. Label is one of these. So label, go to. And these all kind of map back to here. So if expression is not null, then we'll add the last expression. And I suppose we should null it afterwards, right? Just in case. So whenever we add an expression, we should null the previous one. Otherwise, you'll start to get kind of weird errors, won't you? Or is that not true? Should I null it out after I do this thing? I suppose we can. We can express it. Explicitly do this is equal to null, so we'll null it out. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. That's okay. Yeah, because I think if you... Yeah. Well... I don't know. I guess that's okay. And then this does make this more resilient to like garbage being present in the thing as well. Yeah, so we'll always just do a null check on the current expression. See if there is an expression. If there's no expression, then we just do nothing, so that allows for me to put random garbage here. So if you have just a bunch of random values in between, right? So then you have something like blah, 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 right? This won't actually parse out into any expression. So this is random garbage. No comments allowed, by the way. Or maybe comments should be allowed. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. You know what? How do you do comments in assembly? ASM comments. Yeah. I don't know. Inline ASM comments. How to insert a comment. How do you comments? Who? Where are the comments? Yeah? Oh, that's interesting. Now we're going down like, it's basically like the Wikipedia rabbit hole except on Stack Overflow. Look at that. Why does adding inline assembly comments cause such radical change in the GCC's generated code? Neat. It's considerably shorter. No SIMD. Interactions with optimizations are explained about halfway down the assembler instructions with C expressions operands page in the documentation. And then the actual like explanation is kind of blowing my mind. All right, cool. I don't know. Parser. I think the tokenizer will still work. Although, that's a bit tough. Right? Because if I want to allow for comments, I need to change how the tokenizer works. Because now I need to listen for, I guess, new line characters now. So that's a bit tough. Because new line characters is the only way that you'll know how to handle a comment line, right? Okay, so we'll do else if C is equal to just a new line character. Then we'll do, what is white space? Or var token. So we'll build token. Yeah, I guess we'll always build token. Maybe we don't need to do this explicit check for new line here, but we can do it inside of here instead. So if token length is less than 1, I don't think we want to return too quickly. Yeah, I guess if token length is less than 1, then we just don't do anything. Yeah, because what happens is that if you have multiple lines of white space, this will break. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see. So we can tokenize this slightly differently, I guess. So we can just listen for comment lines, right? So, this doesn't need to be here. This can just be here at this level, right? So this will be int current line, one of these. I feel like this shouldn't do anything. Then is greater than 0. Then we should just do add tokens. Otherwise, we don't do anything. Yeah, okay. So string result is equal to empty string regardless. Yeah, so for build token, we'll just have the result. If SB length is less than 1, then we'll just return the result. Easy enough. Return result. Otherwise, we'll do result is equal to SB to string. And then we'll also clear out the string builder. So clear. Yeah, okay. So that would have potentially been a bug that I've just kind of randomly caught. How nice. So current line is not used. Here we go. So we have current line. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for current line. Or we'll think about it later. Well, bool is comment false. So now we'll start listening for white space, I guess. All right, so this is your for loop. We're checking to see if it's a letter. If it is a letter, then we'll append it. So then if it's white space, then we'll usually want to build the token. Is letter. I feel like this is more confusing than like what is a pound sign? What is a pound sign accepted as? It's hard to say. If it is white space, where do I want to put the check for pound? Right. So that's how you do a comment in assembly, is that thing right there. Let's just start typing. Is comment is equal to true. And then we'll need to check to see if everything else is just a comment. If is comment. So we have two checks here. So we first check to see if the character, the white space character, this doesn't work. We'll check here. Else if C is equal to pound sign, then we'll just do is comment is equal to true. And then we can also do a check for the string builder. If SB dot length is greater than 0, then we will tokens dot add build token, something like that. Oh, and actually, yeah, we can simplify this as well using that same logic. So we don't always want to build token, but this will work. Yeah, but we do have a double check here on build token. Okay, get rid of this. Is comment true? Hold on. This is confusing. So if is comment, then we'll do a thing. Otherwise, we'll try to build the token. Yeah, we'll try to build the token. If it's not already a comment, Yeah, so comments will just be a one really long line. So that makes it really easy. So those tokens are really easy to look for as well. We just need to check for the first character in the parser. See if the first character is a hash mark, and then if it is, then, you know, we'll handle it appropriately. Yeah. Else if is comment. So if we're is letter, that's tough. Okay, hold on. There's an order of operations here that I'm missing. So if is comment, we'll just do sb dot append c. That makes sense, right? So we don't need to build a token if it's already a comment. If it's not a comment, then we build the last token and then switch the flag to true. And then once we hit a new line character, that's when we need to start handling this differently. So I think white space is handled as new line, so this is where we are. So if is comment and c is equal to new line character, then is comment is equal to false, and then we will build the token, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So we run through, in the tokenizer, we run through everything that's here. And so this is what a comment would look like, garbage. There is no multi-line comments. Right, so we'll run through every single character in the code using the tokenizer. And then this tokenizer builds full words out of it. So we run through blah, blah, blah. So character by character. If it is a letter, then we append it to the string builder. Otherwise, if it's a comment, we check to see if it's already a comment. So because this is still a valid comment. This is also a valid comment, but you cannot have a multi-line comment. Although I think if you do, I don't know. I think this is still technically a valid comment as long as the previous line was a valid expression, because these things will not be parsed. I think that's correct. So if it's a comment, if we're not already a comment, then we'll build the previous token. If it's a valid token. If it's white space, then we don't do any of that. And then we switch the flag on. Is comment is now true. Next token. Oh, hold on. No, yeah, that's fine. Hold on. If is comment. All right, this logic is wrong now that I'm looking at it again. So if is comment, then if whatever the heck this was, then is comment. Ooh, press the wrong buttons. Press the wrong keys. So this is comment is false. So if we are currently inside of a comment and we hit a new line character, that's tough. No. Hello, Needle Mouse. Hello. How are you doing today? I am basically going all in on just designing an ASM language, assembly language for my game. It's not Turing complete, but it is. It's interesting, nevertheless. Good, nice. So if C is that, let me see. is comment. Then this should be like an else if. That's not how you do it. What the heck? What am I doing? I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to find a way to make drinks look good. I don't know. I mean, isn't your comic taking place in a coffee shop? Can't you just make everything a latte or something? Make it a mocha frappuccino, a pumpkin spice latte. Oh baby, are kids still into that? That was popular when I was still on the coffee house grind. I haven't been to a coffee shop in a while. Any coffee shop, but let's see. SB append C. And then this should be big else statements. Yeah. Oh, bro. Creamy. Good. Don't say creamy. I don't want any of your creamy drinks. I don't know what you're doing in the back room. So is sticky liquid. Ooh woo. Alright, so if is comments. If it is white space. So okay. So if it's white space and if we are a comment, then we'll handle it slightly differently. So if it's a new line, then we can assume that this is the entire token, and then we'll just kind of add this entire thing. Garbage below. So this would be parsed as an entire token, whereas these words would be separate tokens because this is a comment. Man, comments in code is hard, man. Okay, bro. I'm not your bro, guy. Else if the character is just a space character, then that's fine. SB append C. Otherwise, if it's not a comment, then we just need to check to see if there is something to build in the string builder, and then we'll add it. All right. Let's see. SB append. Otherwise, if we hit, like, I think this is also, this is a valid comment. Yeah. So this should technically be a valid comment, right? Even though there's no white space character, I think you should be able to do that. Like, I think I can do this, and yeah, you can do that in C#. It looks a bit weird not to have a space between your comments and the rest of your code, but that is still technically valid. Yeah. I think that logic makes more sense. So, going through this one more time. So we're parsing, say, line 7 here. So first character, go to, boom, that's a token, right? Because we hit letters 4 times in a row, then we hit white space. It's not a comment, so then we go to this block. String builder is greater than 0 because of this code here. So we append to the string builder. Then we do tokens, add, build token, just builds it. Who would have guessed? And then also empties out the string builder. Then we hit the white space. Oh no, we did hit with white space already. That's when we built it. Then we hit hello. Boom, boom, boom. Add HE double hockey stick O to the string builder. Then we hit the comment, or the hash symbol, or the pound symbol, if you will. Then we see that is not currently a comment. So we go to this one. We see that there is something inside of the string builder, so we empty it out and add it to the tokens, and then set comment to true. Then we go on to the next one. Boom, boom, boom. There's a space between the pound sign and the next thing of the comment. So we hit is white space, is comments, boom. We see that's a space, so we append it to the string builder. So then we see is letter, append it to the string builder, string builder, string builder. we hit the next piece of white space that is relevant, which is the new line character. So is comment false? Wait, yes. Wait. Yes. Hold on. Is comment false? And then we need to build it. Yes. Yeah, and then we need to build it. Yeah. Because you could have a valid piece of code right after it as well. Okay. But in this case, there's not, right? So we hit the new line character here. We toggle the flag off so it's no longer a comment because it's the new line. Comments are only on one line. We build it. We hit the next line, drop down to here. There's nothing in the string builder, so we continue on. Then we hit the next comment. Yeah. I like that. I like that. So Tokenizer has been updated to be more correct. I really need to set up a test suite, but I'm not going to. And then in the parser, we can just do one of these. So if it is a comparison, then we'll do a thing. We can also do like a really quick if token dot, if the first thing of the token is equal to a £, then we'll just continue. Nice. So this is the check for comments. And then this is the real logic here. So if it's a comparison, then we'll just kind of blindly add comparison stuff. Yeah. Expressions add exp. Yeah, and then this seems okay. So this builds the expressions properly. I think. Right? So going back to this, right? So we're now parsing the tokens. We're no longer parsing individual characters. So assuming that these are all now words, not just single characters, because you can't just say that you want to parse by words. You need some way to do it. That's what the tokenizer does. Because the code only knows about the singular characters. Everything is a character, including spaces and new lines. So we parse. We hit the first if statement, if charge go to end, which is fine. So if is comparison, we're not currently in a comparison, so we jump to the next one. We hit the switch statement all the way down. Hello, Feldy. Hello. How are you doing today? I am working on a game for the GitHub Game of 2021. The theme is bug. So originally the idea was to make it more of a kind of a more narrative focused game. So you are Hero, the big bad guy, has just deleted you from the game, but you still kind of exist somewhat. But there's like, I guess, implications. Like enemies aren't able to target you, they can only target the rest of your party. NPCs don't remember who you are and cannot remember who you are in the future. So it was going to be more of a meta kind of game. But I think I rethought about it. I was like, man, it would be JRPG-like, you know? But it'd be too hard to do all the writing. Because I think that kind of story, that kind of game relies really heavily on a story. So right now I'm pivoting to making the combat a lot more fun. So the combat is already kind of implemented. Kind of. It's not the mock-up is there, so we can do all this. You have, wow, options that are just kind of populated via code. They don't do anything just yet, but that's not hard. The fun part is that since the theme is bug, and I'm making each skill defined via a very simple assembly language. Just so I don't have like any, I don't need to deal with tree structures. So tree structures are very difficult, very difficult. But I think also something that I want to do is, I think usually in assembly you need each instruction to be on its own line, whereas I think in this, right, the idea is that you are writing bugs, so the code is somewhat obfuscated. So you can have just random instructions on the same line. And then also the parser will just parse bad code anyways. Like this is garbage. So this will not parse. But you can even have some random garbage like I don't know, like charge 2-3. And so that will, if that will fail during code evaluation because that's not valid, but you know, technically it's okay according to the parser. So the parser will just see that charge is one of the built-in words, and then it'll see that it should add, you know, a value and then add another value, right? And then the evaluator will see that like, oh, there's too many values here. Pretty much the only thing that will take more than one value is the if statement. So, and that has effects on how the skill is actually parsed. So if you have an invalid, I guess expression, so this is an invalid expression, right? Then we'll still take the first part of it, but then the garbage afterwards will just add to your instability, which is your, I guess, some sort of amounts. I don't know what. If it gets below a certain point, then your skill will just fail outright. But maybe, right, so you have 1F. We can take off like 0.01 to your instability. So instability of 1 means that you are 100% effective, and then we'll just multiply your instability by pretty much everything, I guess. So I think that's okay. So the tokenizer code, I still haven't tested it, but I think this is correct. It's very simple. I always forget that like parsing comments is really tough, or tokenizing comments is really tough, because you don't want to tokenize. I think you would want to tokenize a comment separately, right? So usually in a tokenizer, this is a token, this is a token. Everything is a token as long as it's separated by white space or at, you know, whatever you're choosing to separate blocks of code with. But comments should just be one continuous block. At least that's how I'm doing it. I'm sure there's a better way, but... And then you can see here that this is how we check for comments. So if the token just starts with the comment token, or the comment character, then we just skip the entire thing. So it's not even evaluated. So I'm just running through the flow chart right now. So boom, boom, boom. We run through, this is not a comment. Or no, this is not a comment. Then we hit if. Now where is comparison, set that to true. Expression, if it's not null, but so the expression will not be null, but then we'll add the expression to expressions and then null out the expression just in case. Actually, when will we ever not create a new expression? Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's because of this, right? It's because of this. So we don't want to add just random values to the expression. just in case something breaks. So I don't know when that would ever be true though. Since it looks like we're always creating a new expression. We'll take that out for now, I suppose. But we're always reassigning it, so that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. So then we hit the if statements, we add the expression if there is a valid expression, which this is, wind up 1. Then we overwrite the current expression with a new one, with a new atom, consisting of the current token, which is if, and then we define it to be a symbol. And so that's fairly simple. Fairly easy to do. Then we also increment our comparison counter because I think I'm going to just make it so each if statements, like this is how we're going to do if statements, since if statements don't need to be delimited by a new line, right? We're just going to count 6 characters or 6 tokens. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then after you hit 6, the comparison is over. It does mean though that this is technically a valid if statement. It'll be parsed as an if statement and then evaluated, and then during evaluation it should fail. Right? Comparison. Yeah, and then we'll do expressions add exp, and then we'll exp null this. We'll null it out. I think that's okay. Probably. Actually, is that valid? Actually, is that valid? If we set it to null, doesn't that mean that it's now I'm thinking about it. Hello, Anwa. Hello. How are you? Smiley face. I'm trying to come up with the appropriate syntax for this. A gravel kind of mood. I'm glad you liked gravel. I'm glad you liked it, and that the fact that it's slightly desyncopated, it's not syncopated, just by a very slight amount doesn't bother you. But whenever I listen to it, I can hear it. It's like, there's just the tiniest bit of rushing. I still on a repeat for 2 hours yesterday. Did you really? I can't tell if that's you're buttering my bread or not, as they say. I notice things in things I make versus what I hear. Nice. Atoms equals expression dot atoms. Is there a duplicate? Who? How do you do this, by the way? Don't want to do to array. I guess that's okay. Is there a copy? Copy to. Something like that, and then we get rid of all this. I don't lie about things I listen to. Nice. Nice. You know what? I'm flattered. Let's listen to let's listen to gravel again. Why not? Let's make it so you just absolutely hate it. I've even put on my own headphones so I can listen to it as well. Copy to. Oh, does this not work? Is this not how this works? Okay, interesting. So that's not how that works. Add range, no. True for all to array, no. Yeah, this part here rushes very slightly, so that bothers me. I can hear it. Oh, it feels. I believe the middle part. It's like some Midwest emo. Is it? Possibly, yeah. I don't think it's quite. I don't know. It doesn't like. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't try to talk about music composition styles. Ready for the Batman Smash? Is Batman in Smash? Yeah, no. Multiverses? I don't really follow DC stuff. I'm sorry. WB Platform Fighter gonna have Batman. Is it? Oh, is that the one that just came out that has like SpongeBob and whatever in it? Or I think I saw something about like a Twitch Rivals about that. Something about that. Oh, that's Nicktoons? Ah, I don't know what I'm talking about. They're all the same to me. This one's. Other one's gonna be WB. It's gonna have dedicated servers. Nice. All right, I'm done listening to this. I'm taking my headphones off. I don't really play too many fighting games anymore. Really only played Melee. I got way too into that, and now my joints are all messed up. And I wasn't even that good. Alright. Nicktoons is kind of like Melee? Yeah, that's what I was seeing, for sure. Alright, so this is fine. It's waning popularity for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to say what the crowd may or may not like, right? Like, isn't like Super Auto Pets kind of blew up out of nowhere, right? Which is just a really accessible way of doing auto battlers. You know? You just need the right influencers to play it and be like, wow, this is my favorite thing ever. Wish I had more of it. You know. So let's step through this again. So given that we have an if statement, boom boom, we hit this part if we hit this part, we start parsing this part. So case if, so we're not in a comparison right now, we just hit executes was the last one, and we hit if, boom, comparison true, then we'll add the expression, and we overwrite the expression with a new thing, with a new atom as well, comparison counter plus equals 1, break, then we go back into the comparison, start reading. Comparison counter is not high enough just yet, so we don't just add everything as an atom value to it. Yeah, and then when we're doing comparisons, we'll just have to look for valid inputs at every stage, which is going to be weird, but that's okay. Cute things that appeal to everyone is more likely to succeed, like that Super Animal Royale. People who don't like BRs like that game. Super Animal Royale. Oh yeah, Super Animal Royale. Yeah. I was thinking about Zoms Royale, which is somewhat in the same vein. Yeah. Well, and I think it's because of the cuteness of it, right? It makes it less serious. And it's like, why? There's no need to get super sweaty about things that have like childish characters in it, right? So a new expression, boom, comparison counter, boom, boom, boom. Then we hit. We're still in comparison, is comparison. We're still in this flag. Then we hit, you know, we're above the max at number 4. Is comparison false? We reset the counter, add the expressions to the, I guess, the final result expression, and then we null out this thing, just in case. Then we go on to the next one, the next number. We'll hit this default, which means that it's a value. Expression is null, so we just don't do anything. Yeah. And then any garbage at the end, we just, if we don't add it properly, then we'll just, you know, it just gets dropped, I guess. Yeah, easy mechanics. Yeah, easy mechanics, something that's, I guess, easy to learn and hard to pick up, which kind of goes for all games, right? Like chess, rules are easy to learn, hard to really master, something like that. Wasn't super good at chess. I'm pretty okay. I'm about a when I was playing 3-minute chess, that was tough though. Speed chess. Wait, what's 3-minute chess called? Isn't like 1-minute chess is bullet, 3 minutes is isn't 5 minutes speed chess? What's 3 minutes? I forget. Actually a GM? Likely. Is your name who's the current grandmaster? I know Hikaru is a big chess streamer who's a grandmaster, but who's the current chess GM? Or Blitz? I don't know. Yeah, I guess Blitz could be. Magnus Carlsen. Magnus, is your name also Magnus Carlsen? That joke would have came out better if I actually knew his name off the top of my head. Magnus Carlsen. I know the rules. I think it's unfortunate that I just don't pay enough attention to all my moves. I just kind of go with whatever feels right. I can pretty consistently beat my little brother, and I think my little brother is he's like a 1100. So I guess that means I'm at least 1100 maybe, or I just have the matchup advantage. I'm Magnus. I tried to legalize gambling in my country. Nice. Hooray for gambling. You know, I feel like gambling has a bad rap. Like, yeah, it's bad for you. But, like, as long as we're all consenting adults, who cares? That's my take on it. I don't think it happened, though. What, gambling or me beating my little brother? At chess. By the way. Did you know, like, I was talking to my parents and they were, like, reminiscing about how they raised us? And it was like, yeah, they just have never beaten my little brother. That was weird. It was one of those things I didn't really think about until they said it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I guess they never really did beat him. I was beaten a lot. And look at how I turned out. Gambling? Yeah. Gambling's gambling. You'll figure it out. Like, I play a lot of I've actually never been to a casino, but I play a lot of gacha games. So like, that's pretty much gambling. They gave you discipline. They gave me mental scarring that persists deep into my adulthood, for sure. I don't know if they gave me discipline though. Maybe you need a good whooping. Yeah, probably. I feel like, you know, beating your children too much is bad, but not beating your children at all is also bad. But that might be a weird take. The hot knife story. Hey, it wasn't just me that was consistently burning my hands on a hot knife. It was also my friends as well. Yeah, I don't know. You beat them enough, then you lose all feeling, and then you can touch the hot knife all you want. Moral of the story, beat your children so that they can burn themselves. Easier. I think this is good, actually. Yeah. I know I've been talking a lot, but I think that's okay. Yeah. Now we have public void evaluate, skill parser. Beat them too much, they get too strong. Yeah, then they'll start beating you. Also, thank you, anonymous viewer, for the follow. Much appreciated. You haven't talked in chat yet, so gotta keep it on the down low. I think that's actually like when I stopped getting beaten as a kid, was when I became big enough to, I guess, break out of my parents' grasp. They're like, oh no, now he's making it too hard for us to beat him. You can wiggle out. So then they just started grounding me. It was like, either you accept being grounded or we're going to kick you out of the house. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm grounded now. I do like being able to eat and sleep. Expressions, ref, skill. Evaluates. Yeah, that's all good. You got soft. I'm glad you're getting tough again. What do you mean getting tough again? I haven't been that hot knife story was like 10 years ago at this point. You're out on your own. Yeah, I suppose. Int I is equal to 0, I is less than expressions dot count I plus plus. You cannot be grounded, you can eat Mike and Ike's and stay alive. Oh heck yeah. I'm glad that you remember that one story from like a month ago. I also remember that Mike and Ike thing. And let me tell you, I had regular Mike and Ike's like a week after that. Way better than the weird tropical fruit Mike and Ike's I was eating at the time. Yeah. But staying up all night, I feel like staying up all night as an adult kind of sucks. Unfortunately, my sleep schedule is all kinds of messed up right now. So, like today I was just very tired, so instead of working, because I work remote, right? And most of my colleagues work in like European time. So it's like and I don't really have that many meetings on my side in US time, so it's just like, you know what if I just take like a 3-hour nap in the afternoon, right after lunch? Now here I am. The blue one is funky, the green one is solid. Yeah, whatever the standard Mike and Ike's are, those are pretty good. All right, so for I in expressions counts, and this is what I'm going off of. So label hello, that's an expression. So we'll run through, I guess we'll just have to have a different function, right? So private void like process expression. So given an expression, yeah, and I think I am going to work a little bit after the today's stream as well, just on like real work stuff that they pay me to do. Who would have guessed? Do I want to break it up like this? I feel like I don't want to break it up like this. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it should just give me the result of the expression. Yeah. This function doesn't make any sense. It doesn't need to exist. But we'll go through the current expression. So var, or this is just the expression, right? So exp is equal to expressions I. So the first part of the expression is always going to be the symbol. Or I guess we'll just have like a nested for loop. Yeah. For each atom in exp.atoms. Oh, and then I also need to check this. So inside of the parser, I forgot to do this one part, is that we need to have you know, a complete flag inside of the expression. So the if statement is complete if this happens. So if the comparison counter is greater than or equal to the comparison max, then we'll do exp dot is complete is true. Just the signal that this is indeed valid. Expression is not null. This is for standard instructions. So standard instructions is just a keyword and then value. So we can just assume that this will always be valid. So we add the atom and then we'll hit it with a expression is complete is now true. So it must be complete, and then it can be two completes as well, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And then I feel like expression type isn't used, so we can get out of this. Yeah. So expression is complete. True or false. So what this helps catch is if you do something like charge, and then you do like, if you do like a double charge, and this is invalid. Also an invalid expression. So it's a keyword followed by another keyword, which means that you'll kind of hit this part here. So expression is not null, add the new expression, etc. So then you'll have just charge with no value. So then when the evaluator hits it, it'll know that, you know, it probably should not be reading it, or it should skip the expression since there's nothing to evaluate. Yeah. Okay. If expression is complete, if not expression is complete, then we'll want to continue, and then also we have this skill, the parsed skill. So skill dot instability. Instability is a float. So then we'll just add a little bit of instability to it, I guess. Instability is a float. Cannot implicitly convert double to float. All right, do that. Hey. Yeah, so then we'll skip looping through every single one of the atoms inside of the expression. Yeah. And then for each atom in expression atoms, well, now we need to have a switch, and then we can figure out whether or not we want to do a for each loop. Yeah, so switch on expression atoms first atom, right? So we can guarantee, actually, yeah, we can guarantee that there will be at least 2 because of the is complete flag. Yeah. So case, wait a minute. What does this mean? Switch on expression atoms and then, oh, that's tough. That's tough. Off the name, and then these will just be a bunch of string values. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we'll just copy and paste a bunch of these. That's tough though. It feels like I could probably make this a lot easier on myself if I like abstracted this out somehow. How would you do that? So I have one big handler function because now I need to maintain 2 lists of keywords, which is tough. I have two lists of keywords that are like the same list, right? They must match up. So it almost feels like I should be running these through like a different handler, right? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways, case if, then we'll want to do something different. We can call a function to probably like private void if handler. And so this takes in an expression and then also a reference to the parsed skill. Just to make this easier. So if handler, the current expression that we're handling, and then the skill. Oh, and this needs to be a reference. A reference to that reference of a skill. Neat. And then anything else. That's tough, man. That's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna think about that. Because each thing is somewhat different, right? Because we need to read it in once and then, or maybe not. I guess we'll just start evaluating it, huh? We'll start evaluating the expressions and then we can start looking for certain flags that pop up. So this is the reference, of course. Yeah. So label hello. This is actually all valid. Yeah. Up until the garbage. This is all valid until the garbage here. Label end. So label hello, charge 2, so we add 2 to the charge, add 1 to wind up, and I think these actually evaluate to like the same thing. And then if charge is greater than 4, then we'll go to end, which is here, label end. So then we'll continue to parse through the expressions. I believe all of these should be invalid. And I'm pretty sure they're ignored. Yeah, because they don't contain any keywords. Oh, but since we're also trying to go to end anyways, we'll like just ignore all expressions in between. Yeah. Okay. Okay. He's starting to believe. So we can just have a bool called like should go to. And then string go to go to label, nothing. Yeah, so if we should go to, then we need to just run through all the expressions. I guess we do need to keep a list of all the labels that we've encountered before as well. So this would be a dictionary of... It would be a dictionary of strings to integers, right? Yeah. String to integer positions. Yeah. Right? Because I'm just doing a for loop. I'm not actually using recursion, so this makes it a bit easier, I think. So this is label location. So if we know where the current label is, then that means that we're looping back in on ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. So talking through this, label hello. So we add this to our label locations. Then we do these commands. If charge is greater than 4, then we go to end. That's not valid, so we don't try to evaluate this yet. Then we see go to hello. Then we run through. Oh, no. Then we run through. Wait. I guess we can have a check for should go to at the very end of the for loop. So a new dictionary string of ints, by the way. Yeah. So if should go to, then we'll need to do a thing to do stub. Yeah. So if we see here, boom, this evaluates the false. So then we move on to the next expression, which is go to hello. If should go to, then we look inside the label locations to see if we've already encountered that label. If we have, then I'll modify the variable I, which is the counter for our loop. Right? Yeah, and then, yeah, yeah, so if that exists within this dictionary, then I grab this integer value, set it to our integer, our counter I, and then our next iteration, then we'll have basically looped back to where we actually should be. Yeah, there we go. Hooray. That's how assembly works, I guess. Case label. So what are we doing here? We're doing, if it's label, then we can just grab the second part of it. So this will be a tiny for loop because I do need to keep track of the index. So for int j is equal to 0, or int j is equal to 1, right? Or it is equal to, yeah, is equal to 1 because we can assume that we'll always have at least 1. Well, I don't know. Hold on. We can do really quick label locations. Also deleted the break statement. Label locations is equal to exp atoms 1 dot name, or no, what? Yeah, dot name is equal to the current I value, right? And then if exp atoms dot size count is greater than 2, then we can add instability to the parsed skill. Instability minus equals 0.01 multiplied 0.01f multiplied by exp atoms count hold on. Counts, or it's 2, or no, it's just -2. So for each value that you have that's over the expected limit. So if you have label, meh, ga, doesn't really mean anything. So this would register a valid label, and then these two things would count against you and add to your instability, or I guess subtract for your stability. You know what? Let's add to your instability. Let's add to your instability. So instability 0f. Nice. Yeah. So if you have a label, then label locations, blah. It is possible for you to overwrite a previous label location as well. So label hello. This is valid. Don't say that. Skill instability, bum. But then you shouldn't do anything after that, right? Well, then we'll just loop. Case go to. Then should go to is equal to true. Remember to break. And then let's see. Go to label is equal to. Hold on. We can simplify this slightly. Atom is equal to exp atoms. Wait. Huh? No. What am I doing? No, this is how you're supposed to do it. Or no, yeah, we can still grab the first atom, right? So atom first atom is equal to exp atoms. Zero. And then atom second atom is equal to exp atoms 1. So we can guarantee pretty much that there will be 2 atoms, because it, is complete, signifies that we have at least 2. Yeah. So it seems a bit scary to not have a check for that, but we are checking for it somewhere else. So first atom. And then this should be second atom. Or we'll call it atom 1, atom 2. Yeah. And then we just ignore everything else. So then go to label should be atom 2. Or atom 2 dot name. And I think in the parser, yeah, you know what? In the parser here, I do need to I guess run through this thing somehow. Right? I need to run through like a very cut down version of this, which basically just looks for these cases here. Yeah, and if that's true, yeah, okay. Because I think I do need to parse against, yeah, evaluator. Yeah, because the evaluator, if it's evaluating the if statement, I need to check the atom types. That's gonna be tough. Right, because we have 2 atom types. We have symbols and we have values, which you can kind of see are represented here. So label is a symbol, hello is a value, and that's really used for if statements. unless we get really strict with how we do it. That's tough. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Anyways, I'm overtime. So thanks for tuning in. I'll be live for sure Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, working on probably this again. Thanks for tuning in. I think I said that already. If you haven't given the channel a follow, give the channel a follow. Have a Discord here, have a GitHub here, have an itch.io here. Wrote everything that you see on screen. So this is my own thing. You can drag this up. Whee! Also wrote this thing. Everything is free and open source on my GitHub, etc., etc. And yeah, I will see you later. Yeah, usually I would try to go on because I think I'm on a pretty good clip here, but I do need to work after this. So, which is why I drank some coffee. So, hooray for being a night owl. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Goodbye.